Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to have a go at modelling this Super Nintendo along with the controller and the game. We will model everything in Fusion, we'll take everything over to Blender to have a go at texturing it, and we will also go into Photoshop to create all the decals, labels and everything like that as well. So it's quite a long project, but hopefully you enjoy it, and if you've got any questions, please let me know. So what we want to do first of all is insert some reference images. So I'm going to do that going over to insert here and going to canvas, or I can click on this image here. Go to insert from this computer. And then I'm going to grab from here. Now, I'm not going to do the exact measurement. As long as the reference images are all the same sort of size, it's fine. So let's drag this, make it a bit bigger. Now, annoyingly, they're pixelated because they're not the most detailed of photographs, but we can make do, it's okay. We'll do the same again. Let's grab one for the side. We'll grab this one. Just flip that round. Make it a bit bigger. Let's see how far off we are. Quite a bit off. Let's make that a bit bigger still. All I'm trying to do is line this up so it all is roughly the same sort of size. Something like that. And then we need to have a front. And we've got the front view here. Again, let's make that quite a bit bigger. Now, we do have to notice that it's not all it's in perspective, so it's not exactly flat on. So it'll be slightly off when it comes to actually modeling it, but it's fine as long as we just bear that in mind. At the minute, I'm just trying to make sure that everything is centered and the right sort of size. Okay. And then we'll do the same because we've got a back view as well. So let's just grab this back view. I do have more detailed photographs on my, that's going to be flipped over as well. That way around. On my other screen as well. Like that. So we've now got our full reference images, our full views. I can turn those off and off in my canvas view as and when is needed. I'm going to stick with this top view to begin with. Let's give this a quick save. The reason why I keep saving it at the start is so that autosave enables. So if I bring over this, the first thing is sort of picking a place to start with. So I think it makes sense to start on the top because there's quite a few more details on the top. So I'm going to model this bit to begin with, and then we'll sort of work our way down. I have also got the mini version in front of me to sort of help me, as well. There's a few little details missing on the mini version compared to the original. I do have the original in my loft, but I'm not going to bother going into my loft to get it out because that would be ridiculous. So I'm going to keep on the top view, and I'm going to put on my side view as well, like that, just so I know how big I need to make these things. So I'm going to give this a save just so I can get going. Okay, so let's come to the top view. What we're going to do is create sketch, and to begin with, what we'll do is go R for rectangle, or I'm going to create rectangle there, R, and then I'm going to center rectangle. Now I intentionally tried to make sure I kept it as centered in the origin as possible. I'm going to drag out like that, and hit escape to get out of that particular tool. And I'm going to hit E to extrude and just drag up like that and hit OK. So all I've done at the minute is just to create basically this part here. So I'm going to come back to the top view here, create sketch, and I do the same again. R for rectangle, go to center rectangle, this one, like like that. And if it doesn't mind, I'm going to hit L for line, or go to create and line there, and just to make it a bit more accurate. If I end up not being exact, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to hit T to trim and modify and trim there, just to cut off those excess bits. Like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's go to fillet. I'm going to round off these edges here in Sketch. And we can't use the keyboard shortcut F because that will jump straight to solid body rather than keep us in Sketch, which is why we've got to press it manually like that. So I'm going to have that, and then what we're going to do, I'm going to keep that sketch on there, finish that sketch, and on here I'm going to create another sketch. I'm going to draw a line going across there, so I'm going to hit L for line. I'm going to come across to about there, because then this bit here, I'm going to hit escape to get rid of that. I'm going to use an arc and go to a 3-point arc because it's curved down like that. And then it looks like we've got a smooth transition, but I'll try and fillet that, enter, just so it's a bit smoother. Okay, so then I'm going to finish sketch. No, I'm not. Let's right click, go to that sketch. I'm going to double click, Control C, Control V to grab that and move that up like that. Then I'm going to finish sketch. Then I'm going to go to split body, and this is a technique we use quite a lot in this particular one. Split body, body to split, I'm going to select that, and splitting tools, that's hard to say. I'm going to grab those two lines like that and hit OK. And you see it's now, if I open up my bodies, I've got these 3 bodies, 1, 2, and 3. I don't need that one, so I'm going to right click, remove. I don't need that one, right click, and remove. So we've now got that particular bit there. We will also fillet these edges a bit. So now we can use a shortcut keyboard for F, or go to modify and fillet, and grab these edges here. If you hover over, you can see through as well, like that. So you don't always have to rotate your entire model. Okay, and then let's round those off. You look. Actually, before we do that, I think I want to cut this part off. That's a little bit long, so let's hit alpha line along this particular line here. That feels a bit too long, so I'm going to take that, finish sketch, and then let's split that body again. There are loads of different ways you can go about doing this. This is just me doing it as I'm going along. Yeah, I feel that's a bit more like it. Now we're going to keyboard shortcut F for fillet. And now we're going to grab these edges. Sometimes that looking through to be able to fillet things, as much as it's trying to help, is quite annoying. And I'm going to try and match. Oh, I've got the wrong edge there. I wanted those ones. Like that. Okay, now let's drag that in. Something like that. Okay. So that's the right sort size. So what we want to do is start to cut these little details in. So I'm going to take this body, Control C, Control V. So we've got a copy of it. I'm going to hide that copy. I'm going to do the same thing we did with the headphones. I'm going to hit E to extrude and grab that profile and go straight down. And it automatically goes to cut if it's cutting through something. I'm going to go to intersect, click OK, because that's the bit that I wanted. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the canvas off for a second. So you see I've got that bit there, and then I've got this part here. Okay, so I then actually want to cut that out so it's a separate piece. So what we will do is go to combine and say target body, what do you want to affect? And I want to affect the big one. Tool body, this bit. Now if I just go to cut and go, okay, let's cut it out, but it's got rid of it. So I'm going to go down to the bottom and edit that feature and just say keep tools. So now I've got it. So now if I turn that off, you see we've cut that shape out of there. Okay, and that intersect is a really, really useful tool, which is why we used it quite a lot with the headphone one. So, well, I know I've got autosave kicked in, but I do like to get into the habit of just saving regularly. The reason I keep doing my head, by the way, is because I've got that model in front of me and I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting all my details in there. Right, let's start putting some more of these details in. Now, when we're doing sketch, we can always go on this flat plane here. We won't be able to go on this part because that's curved, but we can still like project it down. It's fine. So, what we'll do, we'll just make sure we're in the middle. So if we hover over, and when it goes to that triangle, we're never in the middle. Because what we're going to try and do is mirror. Now, I know these buttons here are slightly different, but the shape of the actual like socket the button's in is the same. So we can do a lot of mirroring. So we're going to draw these buttons now. So on this slot for the console, for the cartridge. God, this is making me feel old. Okay, and then what we'll do, let's go to fill it and fill it that round. And then create mirror. Get in the habit, if you've got symmetrical things, of mirroring because it saves you having to do the same job multiple times. The reason I mirrored that before doing this is so I can go to 3-point arc, I can grab that spot and that spot, just bring it up to about there like that. And then we can just fill it. These. Like that. There we go. Okay. Let's do these little details here as well. So let's go with half a rectangle. I'll do a center rectangle again. And then everything should be in line. So I'm going to go across like that, just to make sure it's in line. Like that. And you can see we're going to be slightly off. It's not a massive deal. Well, I'm going to hit T to trim, or not again, modify and trim there just to trim off. You don't always have to trim. I just like to because it tidies it up a little bit. We're going to fill it these round. Like that. And then let's fill it these as well. Like that. And then let's offset, grab that, and we can drag that in like that. So then we want to mirror that across. So I'm going to go to create mirror, and I've got this mirror line straight down the middle. So I'm going to double click on that, select mirror line. So then we've got that, click OK, in the right place, rather than having to do it loads of different times. Finish sketch. So now I'm going to cut these details out as well. So I'm going to give, again, habit of going and save every once in a while just to make sure nothing gets lost. I am going to take, first of all, let's hide this big one here. We don't need it in a minute. This one here, Control C, Control V to duplicate. Let's hide one. I'm going to hit E to extrude, grab these profiles. Drag down, and let's do insert. Click OK. So again, we've now got those shapes. We've still got that, so let's go to combine. That's target body, sorry, is that one. Tool body, these ones here. Cut, but keep tools. So now if we turn these off, you see we've got those parts in there. We also want to make sure if we bring those back, we can turn this one off for now, bring back that sketch under sketches. We want to cut these parts out as well. So let's Control C, Control V to duplicate that. Control C, Control V, duplicate or hide the originals, hit E, and we're going to cut these bits out here. And then back down. Once again, let's go to intersect. So now we've got that inside bit. So we can turn that sketch off, but it's a bit hard to see. And then we've got all these parts here. Like that. Okay, so what we're going to start to do is start cutting them out from the bodies. So let's, that bit we don't need yet. We're going to need combine. But let's just turn off everybody first so we know what's going on. Okay, so we've got those. Okay, so what we're going to do is combine, cut, target body U, tool body U, cut. Same again, target body U, tool body U, cut, but keep tools. And now if we turn those off, we've got those little rings like that as well. Just want to check something, edit feature. Okay, so you see, right, what I just suddenly noticed was on these, so we got this nice rounded edge here. Here we haven't. So what I suspected, as I've go back into my history, so if I look at the history down here, I can find the extrudes of things I've done. Edit and feature. Zoom in, you can see when I was doing the extrude, I didn't grab the whole profile, which is why I'm just going to click that now. Okay. And that now should update everything. So it's now back to where it should be, which is exactly what we want. So now I can bring, oh, I didn't do this one, so let's grab this part as well, like that. Okay, so now we've got all of those, and we'll just check this one. Isolate, and that's got those holes cut out there. Okay, and isolate. So we've got those top details. What we do want to do is with this one, let's isolate. Now hopefully press pull. Okay, not quite what we want to happen. Okay, what we're trying to do is just cut. So if you look at this reference image here, is this button doesn't go all the way and it's got that little slider at the top. So what we can do is let's create a sketch. Do alpha line, and we're just going to come across like that. And then we'll split that body like that. This part here we don't need anymore. Remove, hit F to fill it, and we'll just refill it. These parts here like that. So then if we isolate, that looks more like it. You won't be able to see down there because if we bring this back, and I bet it's going to go underneath that, you won't see that anyway. And then what we do want to do is draw on here off a rectangle. I'm going to find the middle, just come up a little bit like that. I'm going to E to extrude to grab that and rotate around, come to this side, join, and then F to fill it, and then just like that. Now if I isolate, it's starting to look more like a power switch that we want. As I say, on this one here, we want to make this a little bit round because it actually protrudes out. So let's come here, create a sketch. And what we'll do is let's go to arc, 3-point arc, come up a little bit like that, and hit P for project, and grab that whole body. So we can grab that profile, hit E to extrude. Let's go to new body to begin with. And what we're going to do is split body, splitting tool, do that. But yeah, let's create a sketch, come around, P for project, and grab that profile there. So we've got that. Then let's finish sketch, split body, grab that profile like that. Let's then rounded those edges off so we can get rid of those. We can remove those and isolate. So now we've got that curved button there. And then on this particular piece as well, we want this to go in a little bit. So let's take that, press pull, and just drag down a smidge. Something like that. Modify and chamfer. I want to grab this edge and drag just a bit slanted like that. And then if I bring my top view in so you can see it, oh, it keeps pixelating. And there's like a little arrow and some slots that we're going to add in. So let's mirror line along there. We'll undo rectangle, we'll do something like that. And then let's do polygon, drag and change that to 3. So we've got a triangle like that, and then let's fill it. Like that, and then let's fillet these edges as well. Okay, we want to mirror that bit across, so let's grab that, select, create, mirror line, do that one, finish sketch, and then we're going to hit E to extrude, grab these profiles, and drag up, and it's not by much, just a little bit. Something like that, and then we'll fill the tops as well. Too much, too. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I think in terms of the top details, we've got a little bit left to go. So these details here, we're going to leave because we'll do that at the end of everything, but we have got a deboss where the logo is going to go. So I'm going to hit sketch and then C for circle, or it's up here, or circle there. I'm going to go C for circle, drag out like that, hit E to extrude, which will close my sketch, grab the profile and drag down. I'm then going to hit E again, and now I can grab that and drag up the top, but I want to change that to new body so it stays there. And just so we can still see it, I'm going to F for fillet, get a small fillet. So it stays like that, and F for fillet again. Let's do 0.2 like that. I'm not going to do the fillets around everything until we've got more details in, just because sometimes you can regret having done the fillets. Right, and then let's just do this. So let's create a sketch on this profile and do our power. Let's go slot, center slot, drag that across, E to extrude, drag that down like that, and then modify chamfer, something like that. And I'd like to get in the habit of doing a small fillet on the chamfer, so you've not got like really sharp edges that end up looking weird when you're trying to like render anything. Now grab that, hit E to extrude, drag up, change that to new body, because I'm going to hit F to fillet and drag that all the way around like that. Remember, anything you want to have a separate texture, try and keep as a new body like that. So actually looking like that, I think our top is done. So you can see we've already got quite a few bodies. I've got what's this body here? Let's okay. So I need to combine those. Let's combine those, and I don't need to keep it. Let's keep it as one, like that. Okay. Okay. So top pretty much done. Let's come back to our side view. So now this is pretty much going to be one piece. Let's come to the top. Turn back on our top view. I'm going to turn all of these off. Let's turn all these details off, but let's keep that on. Create sketch. For rectangle. Oh, we want to center rectangle rather. Drag out. Something like that. Finish sketch. E to extrude. I'm going to drag up. And now I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to drag up. I'm going to do two-sided. Drag down. Well, just drag to there. Like that. Okay. So we've already got the sketch that we did our original body on. So if I turn that sketch on, this one here, what we can do is go to split body and grab that sketch, and then I can take this body, right click, remove, so that isn't already not intersecting with our piece like that. Turn it off now, and you see here we've got these curves. This is where it's a little bit more of a complex shape than you might realize at first. They're not straight up and down. So what we're going to do, create sketch, and here we'll go create arc, 3-point arc. Something like that. Split body. And then this body here again, right click, remove. Got the same here, so let's create a sketch. We could do this all in one sketch, but sometimes I like doing it in separate, so if you make a mistake, you're only undoing one thing. It's going to be like there. Like that. Just bring this back so we see. Yeah. Split body. This bit here. Remove. That'll be the same on the sides as well. So let's bring our front view. And then let's create sketch. Arc, 3-point arc. No, that may, let's split this and see what happens, but that may be too much. Let's just see. So I'll take this, turn it off now, and let's bring this back. Okay, so what we can always do is take the sketch, bring it across a bit. I'll update lie, which is really helpful. I think that level of the arc might be a little bit off. Let's edit that. Let's get rid of that. Let's create, maybe if we do like a line. So if we do like that and then escape, then fit it that, might get us a better transition maybe. We could split that body using that. There you go, I think that's probably more like it. And then this bit here we can remove as well. Yeah, okay, let's turn that sketch off. Now we could do the same on the other side. Or what we could just do is mirror it across. So I just realised back here as well, we've got overlapped a little bit. So let's find that sketch. That's this one here. Edit feature. Just bring that back a little bit. Like that. So that's the big benefit of Fusion as well, is you can always go back and edit these sketches and they don't massively affect what we've done. Maybe that's a little bit more needed still. Yeah, okay. Right, let's then just check, see if this works. Okay, so we might not be able to allow that as much as we want. So maybe what we'll want to do is use split body again. So let's turn on top view. Great. Arc, 3-point arc. Like that. Let's see if this works. Quite as we wanted. Let's undo those bits. Okay, let's turn all those sketches off. Let's just see. It's probably not going to let us fill it because of that bit. So as soon as it hits that, yeah, it's that. It doesn't like. Tell you what, let's put it the back bits first. Okay, so that bit will let us do as much as we like. Let's bring back our top view and this. Like that, hit enter. Then yeah, it's just this particular bit here. So let's turn that off. Right, as if we do this. Okay, so what I did then was hit delete on that face. So if I drag that now, perfect. Okay, that's what we wanted. So all I did then, if I undo, so the fillet was stopping at that face there. So if I hit F fillet, watch as it gets to that line, it's fine, and then it hits it and it's like, no, can't go any further. So what I did was I selected that face, hit delete, so it got rid of it there, and then it will let me fillet that. So that does work sometimes. So that's just something to bear in mind as a little technique, like that. Yeah, let's just kind of push this out. Oh, there we go. Perfect. That's what we want. Just to bring that out just a smidge more. Like that. Okay. Now, obviously we've only done that on one side. Now I do, as I said before, even with sketching with other bodies as well, it just makes sense to do everything in the middle, split body. And because we did it all directly in the middle, I can grab this plate here, like that. Take this one, right click, remove, create, mirror, grab that, select bodies, grab that body, and I can just grab that, like that. So you don't have to go through the same pain multiple times. So let's bring everything back to see what's going on. Okay. Bring it up just a little bit. Something like that. Okay, so let's carry on with our details. So we have got, if I turn this off, this line going straight across here, which we're going to add in. So let's do that. Create a sketch. Alpha line. And I don't need to go all the way across, I'm just going to draw a line. Like that. Hit escape. Finish. So then what we'll do is let's go to split body and grab that. So that line goes all the way across. And we want it basically is to look like how it would fit together. So what we'll do is go to create, pipe, grab that, and then make this quite a bit smaller. Even smaller than that, let's do like 1. Something like that. Maybe smaller than that, let's do like a 0.5. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So we then want to also come and start adding these details to the front. So let's do an offset plane. So I'm going to go up here, construct offset plane, or you can click on this one. I'm going to grab this front, not that bit. This plane here. I'm going to drag that straight across like that. And then I'm going to go to create sketch from there. And let's go to Half a rectangle, center rectangle. That's not quite centered. Oh, let's do alpha line to find the middle. Come down. Half a rectangle. Oh, we want center rectangle again. Something like that. It's closer to the bottom than the top, so we can come across here like that. Let's fill it. These parts here, drag them in a little bit, like that. E to extrude, grab that, and drag that in, so it's cutting into it. And then off that canvas, E to extrude, grab this profile and drag out. Body. Let's create a sketch. P to project, to grab. That curve in a sketch, because then what I can do is split body along that curve and get rid of that. So we've got this part here, which is what we want. Let's do the same again. Create a sketch. P and project that curve. Be a sketch. Split body. Select. Like that. And again, we can move that bit. So that now lines up. You can combine. That is all one body, which is what we want. So this is where we're going to start to have our socket for our controller or controllers. I'm going to give this a save so nothing gets lost. I'm actually going to take this to isolate it so it's just that we can see. Front view. Let's grab this construction plane we made before. And create a sketch on it. P to project, grab the whole thing. And I'll reason for that again so we can find the middle. Come straight down. So, I'm going to go half the rectangle. Again, I'm checking. This time it is centered, so let's do L to find the middle like that. And then we're going to go half rectangle, center rectangle again. I keep forgetting about that. And I'm going to round off these bits here, like that. I'm going to round this slightly, but they're not very rounded. It's just a little bit of something like that. Offset, I'm going to drag that in a bit. And then I'm going to do L for line. Now it's really hard to see it on here, but this is why I've got the real version in front of me, so I can add these details in. C for circle. And I'm going to go to create rectangle pattern, grab that, drag it across, and there should be 3 there. Well, there should be some more of that, so let's do like that. And then I want to suppress because I don't want you or you. Click on OK. It's So now I've got those profiles there. I'm going to finish sketch. I'm then going to, let's duplicate this body again. Control C, Control B. Enter, hide one, E to extrude, and then we're going to grab these profiles. And drag in. Like that. See how that looks. That looks about right, actually. Let's hit F for fillet and just start filleting a little bit around here. If you're following along, your fillets may be different depending on how big you made your original reference image, so don't worry if the fillets you're doing are different to the size of mine. That's not a bad thing, it's just you start off with a slightly different size, that's all. And hit OK. So now we've got a little socket there. There is also going to be a circle. So let's bring this back. Create sketch. And there is a circle with number 1. So there's a circle about there. E to extrude. Let's do, wait, so now, before we do that, I'll take this. So we don't need this duplicate actually, so I can just take that. And we'll keep it for now just to be safe. Let's Control C, Control V. Hit E to extrude, drag that through. Again, go to intersect. Like that. Bring this back. Let's go. Combine. Toolbody U. Target body U. Okay. So we've got that cut out. It's a bit too far, so we can just press pull and bring that up a little bit. Something like that. We're going to F fillet. Okay, I press pulled that too far. Let's do that feature, bring it a bit. Okay, let's just go before we did that. Let's isolate. Let's press pull this bit. Then let's do that. Let's delete that feature. Let's then split this body in half. Along there. This bit here. Remove, and then we're going to mirror that across again to create mirror, grab that, and grab that. So we've got that, and then obviously it'll just be a 1 or a 2 in there, depending. Like that. So I think what we'll probably do though is add, because I've got the Nintendo font, but Fusion doesn't seem to recognize it, so we'll leave that and we'll do the actual numbers in Blender. Let's bring everything back so we can see where we're up to. Turn off that. So we've got our little details there. I'm going to hit F. In fact, I'll take that again, isolate, hit F, fillet. Do 0.1, isolate, F, fillet. Or in fact, let's, because those are separate at the minute, aren't they? This bit here we don't need anymore. What is this one? Okay, we definitely don't need that. Right click and remove. We've got those details there. I think now what we'll do is let's just quickly this one we want. Create a sketch. And then there is a split that's going to happen, and it's going to happen about there. Finish sketch, split body, split along there. Create pipe, and it should remember the last size pipe that we did before. But this body we don't want to get seen. Hold down Control so you can select the pipe all the way around. In fact, I don't think it does go all the way around there, it just stops. Let's go check my reference images a second, because I'm wondering if maybe... Okay, no there isn't, it's just on the version. So you see on this one, there's no split there, it's just on the mini version that I've got. So let's not do that. Let's bring that back over. Let's cancel that. And let's delete that step. Okay, let's bring that back. So now is the time to, let's combine those together. Combine. So there, now one body again. So there's no details on the side to do, but on the back there is some more details. So what we can do is come round to the back. If I drag this over so you can see at the back. What was it? This one? No. Don't know why that's suddenly done. Let's. Either way, there are some more details at the back that we need to add in. So let's, there we go, that's more like it. So you can see we've got these vents here, and there's some vents at the front we're going to add in as well. But we've not done the bottom bit for the front yet. So let's do an offset plane, grab this and drag out, create sketch, like there, turn the canvas on, and we just want the back view for now. So you can see you've got those grids along there. So let's go to R for rectangle. I'm going to do center rectangle again, just find the middle. And come down. Like that. I'm going to grab it, hit E to extrude. Drag in, something like that. I'm also going to hit F fillet and just try and fillet these edges a little bit. And it won't be very much. I'll try 0.1. Okay, 0.1 worked. And then what we're going to do is let mirror all the pattern those across. So create pattern, rectangle pattern, change that to features and grab that extrude and that fillet. axes, we just need a straight line, so we'll grab that. I want to come across to there, change that to symmetric. We just put those numbers till we get what starts to look about right. Something like that. So we've now got those details there. You also have got the socket at the back, but we need to have the bottom part. So we still need to do, we bring up the side view, this bottom part here, which should be relatively easy to do. So all we'll do is let's create a sketch on the bottom here. We will offset this and bring it in a little bit. Hit E to extrude. Let's see how far off we were. Okay, we can probably change that offset slightly. Actually, I think probably not. Probably okay. Now we set that to join, which we don't want. Let's do a new body to begin with. Let's turn that on its own. Bring back the side view because it's slanted. So we're going to go to create a sketch. Alpha line. Just come across like that. Bring a sketch. Get body along there, and then this bit we can remove. So we've got that. And that is where we're going to have all of our extra vents. Let's unisolate. A little bit too tall, I think. No, it looks about right on there. Okay. Now I'm just wondering whether that's going to stop us from doing much filleting. Let's see. Oh no, we're okay. That surprises me. We don't need to put it there, we just need to do it on here. Something like that. I'm going to create a sketch on this edge here. And it's the same sort of things we did a second ago, where we've got some vents. I'm going to arc a rectangle, center rectangle, right in the middle, and just come down a little bit. Like that, but I don't want it to be all the way across, so I'm going to just draw a line. Just for, this isn't particularly accurate here, just like that. So I can cut those in. Like that, and then we'll, like we did before, let's do it. Yeah, round it off a little bit, so let's round those off. So let's turn off, so we see what's going on. F for fillet. Grab these profiles, or these edges, sorry. Round them off a bit. Like that. Then we're going to fillet this. Like that, and then let's pattern that across. Let's go to create pattern, rectangle pattern, features, and grab those 3 features this time. Axes this, drag across, change to symmetric, and again just up those numbers until we get a good looking amount. There's quite a few. Like that. Now we're starting to close to being finished. Now at the bottom, I'm just going to put some feet. There are a few other little like embossing of writing on there, but we're not going to put those on because you're not going to see it when we do our render, so there's no sense in doing that. So we're going to do a circle, and it should snap to where the fillets are. And then we should make sure we want them both to be equal, like that. But I can make that a bit bigger, like that. Let's mirror. So I do an alpha line in the middle. Create, mirror. Grab these sketches here, grab those, like that. And hit E to extrude. Now we've got a lot of the finer details down. It should be, we're moving quite a bit quicker now, which is good. After fillet. Did not want to do that. And then we're going to hit E to extrude and actually extrude the feet up. Oh, it's not working. Let's try again. Grab that. Grab that. Okay. Oh, no, not fillet, sorry. Extrude is what I wanted to do. Drag up. I'm going to do new body. And then round this off with just a fillet. Okay, so we've got the underneath part done. Let's also just round that edge off a little bit like that. So actually I think it is just the last little back part to do. So if I get another view of the back up so we can have a look. My PRF thing up. If you see here, we've got some sockets and things there. So let's just bring the canvas back up. Oh, that should be on the right hand side. So let's just mirror that or flip that over like that. Okay. So I'm going to create a sketch on that plane that we already created. Right, sketch there. Do R for rectangle. E to extrude. Drag that in. But before we do that, we probably want to combine this together now. So let's finish sketch, combine those together. Then let's hit E to extrude. To there. Like that. Okay, I just want to make sure I get a good picture of the back. Okay, so we want to create a sketch. We've got half a rectangle. We'll do a rectangle here, and then another rectangle on top of this, like that. Hit E to extrude. Like that. Hit E to extrude to bring that back up again and go to new body. Have to fillet. Add those details in. Hide that for 1 second so I can do the same here. Once we've done with these, it's a case of pretty much just going around and filleting the last little bits of edges just to make sure everything looks clean. Okay, so we've got that, and then what we're going to do is let's create sketch. And we're going to offset this like that, and then modify, and then chamfer these edges. Like that. Heat extrude, drag down, after fillet, just fillet these edges now. And then there is just a rectangle sticking out of it. Half a rectangle, center rectangle, down the middle. Like that. Heat extrude, go up. So this could distribute of its own body. Okay, so we've got that socket done there, and then we have just got a couple of aerial sockets. And again, just adding these little details in makes everything look that much more realistic. Like that. And then we're just going to have one more quick sketch. And this one be in line with that, but it is just in. So hit heat extrude, just drag in. After fillet. And I'm going to have one more circle on the inside there. Offset. Heat extrude, and just click on that surface there to bring it up. Like that. After fillet. Like that. That is the back done. So I'm going to have a little look around. So I think it's probably a case now of just sort of making sure everything's connected and filleted everything around. So we'll look at our references. So we've got the front done. So I'll bring this over. So back is done. Front is all done. Top is done. So that's this is the bit we're not going to do at the back here. It's like these little indents because you're not going to see it. It's fine. So we've got those details added in. I'm going to turn off the canvas for a second. So I'm going to give this a save, and I think it's pretty much now. Let's just go around adding some little fillets in. Yeah, so let's combine this and this together. This part here is going to stay separate because that's a different colour. Remember, anything you want to be different colours and textures, you need to keep it separate. Let's start filleting stuff around a little bit. I'm just holding down control, looking at other edges I want to fillet. You don't want to over fillet, so we've done 0.5. If I do like 1, yeah, it's too much. Do like 0.7. Looks a bit more like it. Okay, before we do that though, I need to do one more thing. So let's before go to the combine. This here, this body here, let's isolate So if we go to top view, there's these slots that we need to cut out. So let's do that. Go to sketch, alpha line, come across, finish, and then we're going to split body along there, create pipe, and it will come around the other side as well. Like that, and we'll do the same at the front. Oh, repeat. Like that. Then let's combine those back together again. And then we want to split that body one last time. No, we don't, because we need to make sure they're set different here, aren't they? So let's just undo that bit. Let's go to this sketch here. We'll do a mirror. Create mirror. Grab that. Grab that. There we go. Then we're going to do some more piping then. Create pipe. Oh, I'll bring that sketch back, sorry. Split the body. This one. There we go. Let's turn that off. Then we're going to pipe. Create pipe. Now, I may end up moving the fillets to before this, depending on how it works. It might not like it, but have a look. So we've got that. Let's turn off our canvas and our sketches. Let's combine all that together. Let's unisolate. Okay, let's just see. So it might not, or it might. Okay, never mind. I thought with that pipe it might not let us fillet it, but it did, so we're okay. Okay. And then, did I combine those together? No, I did not. So now let's combine that together. And then let's see if I can fillet this as well. We can. Perfect. Okay, so I think the outer body is done. We've got all of that. Got the back. There's nothing to go on the sides. The front we're happy with. It's just, I think, the top. Let's just add a few fillets. Maybe not quite 0.5, again we do a little bit less for this, 0.3. Like that, and let's fillet. Get this one. Problem, we'll come back in a second. Let's take this, just isolate it for a second. Excellent, that worked well. And isolate just this one. Isolate. That's probably because of this. So what happens if we do this? So this is the same problem we had at the front of the console earlier. And you see we've got these overlapping faces. It doesn't really like. It's a bit of a mess here actually. Let's see if we can. Let's try. I don't know if that's gonna. Okay. So it's just. Okay, so it's just there. What if we do this? So that just. Okay, so it works along there. It's just here we get a few weird results, but how visible is that going to be? Not at all. Okay, fine. We'll leave that as that is. Okay, so I think okay, there's just going to be a last little thing here. It's on top of the console. There's two circles. Let's just make sure they're equal. You and you be equal. Let's just make sure they are in line with each other. E to extrude. Okay. Do that quickly. Get that sketch back. And this will be the last thing we've got to do. Let's take this body. Where is it? It's you. Okay. Isolate. Bring back that sketch. Control-C, Control-V. E to extrude. I want the intersection. Don't feel like quite as big, so let's press pull and grab those. Drag up a little bit. We do make it a bit taller. Let's grab those. Let's come up a little bit. Like that. And isolate. Oh, I made that way too big. Bring. Like that. Intersect. You. Right. That's more like it. Turn the sketch off. Press pull. Up a little bit. Fill it. Like that. Maybe even less. Let's edit feature. Bring it down a little bit. Like that. Combine, talk about you, talk about you. Cut. Oh no. Join. Like that. Okay. I'm going to give it a little once over, but I think now, in terms of the console, we are done. So we've got all those details. Let's turn that sketch off. Maybe you want to just fill it this slightly. Like that as well. So, give it a quick top view. Done. There's a bit of writing. It says on off there, and then it has 1 and 2 there, but we're going to do that inside of Blender anyway. Nothing else needs to go on the top. Nothing else needs to go on at the front. Okay, in terms of the modeling of the actual console, we're done. So there are quite a few. This is why I chose this as the last one. It's a bit of a bigger project, and there's lots of like little intricacies and like tricks and tips that we need to do. So the other thing is you got to think about the context when you're doing a render. So we've got a console. So it's unlikely you'd see a console just like on its own, okay? So you're probably going to end up with like a controller and say a cartridge for a game. So what we're going to do is have a go at us modeling a controller and a console, like a game cartridge to go along with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just take all of these, right click, move copy, and just move to the side. So we're going to work on a couple of other things to go with it. So a controller and a games cartridge that actually goes into it as well. So let's add in another reference image. And then I have got somewhere. So if I go to my reference images, so I've got, let's do top one first. Yeah, and I've got my reference images turned off. Let's make that a bit bigger. I'm not too worried if at the minute we make it and it doesn't fit in there because we can scale it later. And let's bring in the bottom of it as well. So we'll bring that in there. So anything we do want to do is make sure, like with the console, that we line up as much as possible. That sort of thing. Okay, so quite a simple thing to do. Nowhere near, we've done all the hard modeling is done here. So what we'll do is let's just create a sketch on this plane here. We'll do a rectangle and we'll do a center rectangle as usual. I'm going to keep it as central as possible, something like that. Then let's go to arc and 3-point arc. And then if I pull that, let's do alpha line and draw a line across like that. And the reason for that is so that when we do an arc, we've got something to snap onto, like that. T to trim, to just trim off the extra bit so we can see what's going on a bit better. And then let's round off these a bit more. Something like that. And then we'll also fill it as well. I'm going to hit E to extrude, grab both those profiles, drag up, do two-sided like that. So I'm going to make my reference image slightly bigger, just so it matches the size a bit more. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so what we want to do is start adding in some details. So let's do an offset plane. So we're going to go to offset plane here. We'll click on this here, and then I've got my offset planes turned off. drag that up like this and create a sketch here. I'm going to go to R for rectangle. In fact, let's do P to project. As usual, make sure we can get everything in the center, around the center, and come down, R for rectangle, and come out something like that. Let's then, in fact, before we do that, let's edit this sketch and fill it. Like that. Finish sketch. Let's then go to create and emboss, and grab these two profiles, select this face here. But we want to deboss it, but not by that much. Let's do like -0.5, something like that. That's a bit hard to see. Let's turn that off. Like that, so you can see we've embossed our little details into there. Let's do the same technique for this part here as well. So let's turn back on this, create a sketch. Again, P for project, and then L for line, just to always make sure I can find the middle. Basically, that's the whole reason why we do this. Because it just makes it infinitely easier. Okay, let's go R for rectangle, center rectangle, like that. And again, let's round off these edges with fillet. There's no particular reason why I'm choosing to do it in sketch mode rather than solid mode. It's just sometimes I do it in one, sometimes I do it in the other. It doesn't matter if you haven't done it yet and you did it in solid mode. Finish sketch. Same again, let's emboss, create emboss, grab the profiles, grab that face, and it should remember the last details that you did. But we want to make that a bit more. Let's do -1. Okay, then let's modify chamfer. Not that whole face though, and chamfer this. Like that. We want to have these details, so let's bring back that plane again. Create a sketch. P to project, and let's project that there, and we'll do R for rectangle. Just draw a rectangle straight across like that. And then let's pattern that, create rectangular pattern. Let's do symmetric. Like that. Finish sketch, create, emboss. Let's grab these profiles. Select that base. Something like that. So we've now got, excuse me, those little details in there. Let's cut these little grooves in as well. So we're going to create a sketch on any plane here, doesn't matter. R for rectangle. I'm going to come in like that. I'm going to hit T, trim to come trim that bit off. And then I'm going to fill it those around a little bit like that. Then Let's go to create and go to rectangle pattern, double click to grab those, drag it down to there, and we want to have those. Let's go to split body, and we use a lot of in this project. Grab those like that. So now I've got those little details. I'm going to indent those slightly. So we're going to press pull, and we can drag. First I'm going to select all of these, drag in like that. I'm going to hold down control so I can select all of these, do them all at the same time, so I guarantee they're exactly the same size. Let's put 2. Maybe a bit too much. Like that. Let's then combine those back together again. And then let's fillet these. We won't do it on the other side because we'll just mirror that across, but we'll do some more work first before we mirror everything. Okay, so I just want to get an image of the back. Okay, so what we'll do, create a sketch, alpha line, come down there, finish sketch, good old split body, select that, and turn that off for a second. Let's go to create pipe, and we'll grab all of these parts, hold down control so I can grab multiple. Enter. Let's then combine those back together again. And then it is a case of just having some screw holes, which are quite easy to do. Let's just bring in this plane again, create sketch, circle, need to extrude, drag in a little bit, have to fill it. Then let's create a sketch. I got these weird hex screws. So let's go to polygon, find the middle and drag out. E to extrude, drag up, set to new body, F to fillet, just round that off. Nice and easy. I'm going to do the same on the back, well, actually on the bottom as well. Let's just do a sketch and let's offset okay before that. Right, let's go to before we did that pipe. Let's create a sketch, And then let's offset. Actually, no. Let's not do that. Let's go back to where we were before. Because if you look, I've just realised it's just a rectangular thing, so it doesn't matter. For rectangle, centre rectangle, drag out. E to extrude, drag that down a little bit. F to fillet. And I think we want to have some screw holes on the back as well. So we're going to have let me create a sketch on this back plane. Is it flat enough? Okay. P to project. Circle. Make sure I got the right amount of screw holes. It looks like it's just just there. So let's do escape, E to extrude, grab that, drag down, cut. I'm going to turn off my canvas, F to fillet, create a sketch, create polygon again, E to extrude, up to there, make it a bit bigger, new body, F to fillet, drag that in a bit, a bit too tall, let's drag that down a little bit. There you go. Okay, so now let's filleting along here. Can we go bigger than that, or is it not going to let me because of the that's not like it. Let's see if I'll do it here as well. Okay. All is left to do then is let's split this body using this midplane here. This part we don't need anymore. And then we can just mirror. So create mirror. We've now got that cartridge, and then we want to just mirror those screws across, create mirror bodies, grab that screw, and that screw. Like that, and then the very last thing is on the back, there's just a little indent where some instructions go. So do R for rectangle, go to center rectangle again, come to the middle, Create object. There we go. Let me step onto the middle for a second there. Right. R for rectangle. Just come out, make something like that. Nothing too big. .3. Oh no, should be minus 0.3, sorry. Minus 0.3. Okay, and then let's just hit F to fit it. Like that. Okay, so our cartridge is done. The last thing we're going to do is have a go. I'm going to give this a save. At modeling a controller to go along with it. Now I have already got a video showing you how to make a controller. Just realised I don't put it here as well. But I'm going to do it in this video as well, so it's all covered in one thing. Otherwise you're sort of jumping along multiple videos. So once I've just done this, okay, so much like before, what I'll do is I should all be one body hopefully. Oh yeah, and those are the screws, aren't they? Let's take all those, right click, move copy, move it over here. Back for argument's sake, let's rotate it around 90 degrees. How far away was I from getting it to the right sort of size? Oh, not far actually. Look, it's so good. Right, just move that over there, like that. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little save, and then we're going to have a go at modelling the controller to go with it as well. Okay, so last thing we're going to do is do our little controller to go along with everything. So what I'm going to do is bring in my reference image. So let's, in the top view, insert canvas, and then I've also got my controller here. Again, I'm going to try and make sure I keep it as centered as possible. Now, obviously perspective, like I know scale matters compared to here. So what I'm just quickly having a look at is size-wise controller versus the actual console. So it's pretty much about that, actually. We can always rescale these when we are, I'll go back to 0. When we are inside Blender. I'm actually going to redo that just to make sure I get it exactly centered again. Let's do that. Yeah, that way I'm perfectly centered, so turn that one off. And actually, all of these ones, right click, delete, because we don't need them anymore. So we've just got this reference image now. So under canvas, it's just this one here, so we don't get anything too confused. Like I said, just realised as well that on here, I'm just quickly going to come in, create sketch, and just make the bit that sticks up. so I don't forget. Right, so we've got that there. Right, let's jump back to our controller. As I said, I've already got a video, a project just on doing that, but I'm going to do it all in this together. So let's create sketch on here. We are going to do L for line and go in the middle perfectly. Because again, look for symmetry. Obviously, what's on there isn't symmetrical, but the actual shape itself is. So I'll just do straight lines where we can. Just L for line and then bring those across, and escape to get rid of that tool. C for circle. I'm just going to drag out something like this and drag this down a little bit. Okay, so now that things are overlapping, hit T for trim, like that. Let's modify extend actually. T for trim. Didn't need to trim that bit. We're going to extend this bit as well. Modify, not trim, sorry. Extend, like that. Then I can trim off that. We want to just smooth out this transition a bit more, like that. And then same up here. Like that. So we've now got half of that. Let's go to create mirror, double click, select all of it, deselect that line, select, like that. So we've now got that whole profile. Hit E to close the sketch, and then we can extrude it. And I haven't got the exact thickness for it, so I'm just going to roughly go by eye, something like that. I've done it symmetrical so that everything again stays in the middle, like that. So let's start over here. We'll do C for circle. And because we used a circle to draw this, if you have it over, it shows you where that circle is, which is exactly what we want. I'm going to drag that in, hit E to extrude. Drag it down just a little bit. Like that, and then I'm going to hit F to fill it. And do like that. Then we want to draw out where our D-pad's going to go. So I'm going to draw a sketch there. I'm going to find the middle of that circle again, like this. And this is where, again, our thing might not be exactly in line. So it doesn't matter if our banner model doesn't match up to our reference image completely, because it will be in perspective a little bit. I'm just going to trim just so I can make that one full line like that. So then what I'm going to do is go to offset, grab that, drag it up. I'll do like 5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.7, 2. I'll do 2. Okay. I'm going to repeat that, and we'll do -2, 2, offset, -2. Okay. Then we're going to draw a line across there like that. Escape, so we've got that profile there. Let's figure out distance from there to there was what? 3.8. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter. L for line, I'm going to draw that across there, and I'm going to do the same with these here. I want to make sure those are the same. So what I'm going to do is with dimensions, click there and there, and click there, and it's slightly off. So if I click on that and hit enter, it snaps it to exactly where it needs to be. Again, I'm going to still with dimensions there, sketch dimensions or D on your keyboard, select those 2 lines, select that dimension, hit enter, and same again here, select that and that, hit enter, like that. I'm then going to hit E to extrude so I can grab all of these profiles. like that. Let's drag down a little bit. I'm going to hit F to fill it and grab these profiles here to round them off a little bit. Go to top view. And like that. Then we can create a sketch and we can just offset that. Like that, okay. E to extrude, bring that up and it comes a little bit higher, doesn't it? It comes up to like there. And new body. Probably needs to come a bit higher actually. Let's hit feature and bring that just a little bit more. Okay. Next, let's go to sketch. And what we'll do is let's P to project to grab that. Alpha line. Let's just join those up into the middle like that. And then we can just draw a triangle out. Let's mirror this line across there. And then let's fill it. Drag it up so it's a bit more rounded. Like that. E to extrude. Drag down a little bit. Let's create pattern. Oh, first of all, I need to do a circle in the middle, so we'll find the middle. Like that. C for circle. Like that. E to extrude. And drag down. Like that. So we want to have that on all there, so let's try and see if we can circular pattern it. Let's go to features and let's grab this extrude, axes, select that, put to 4. So we've now got all of those. Let's after fill it. Like that. So we turn the covers off very easily, very quickly. We managed to get our D-pad done there. Let's turn our attentions to this part here. Right, sketch on this face. This is why it's a nice easy one compared to these two, is everything's flat face. So you can start sketches on everything very, very easily. C for circle. I'm going to go in the center of this, and because we use a circle here, hover over till we get that. Drag it out. E to extrude. Drag down to cut. And then E to extrude and click that purple again. Just click up there to make it again, but go to new body. F to fill it and grab that edge, and we'll do like 0.2. And we'll grab this one here as well, do 0.2. So we've got that separation. Let's then create a sketch. And we'll do C for circle, try and come in the middle. Like that. We'll take that and see Control C, Control V. Bring that over. Do alpha line. That actually is probably an easier way. Let's undo that. Let's go to create slot, center to center slot. Let's do that. Oh, that's much easier. Let's do that. Okay. I'll take this, Control C, Control V. Move that in position. Like that. E to extrude. I'm going to open up the bodies, and we're going to hide that. We don't need that yet. Let's just drag that all the way through, like that. After fillet, grab those two profiles, like that. Bring this back. Create a sketch, and then P to project, and let's project this, because then we can grab both these profiles very easily. Hit E to extrude and grab both of these. Click on that surface there, change that to new body. Let's create a sketch on the wrong plane. Let's create a sketch like that. C for circle. Again, we want to find the middle of this circle, which is there. Do the same there, so it snaps into place. We do want to make sure these are the same size. So what we want to do, this one feels the right one, so that's right in there. Let's do D, click on that to the same. Here, click on that, enter. That way they're all exactly the same again. E to extrude, grab those profiles. Let's turn off that again and drag down. After fillet, to round it off a little bit, bring that back again, and then one last time let's create a sketch on that profile, and then hit P to project again and just project both those inserts. And the point that means that I've got those profiles, so I can get E, extrude and grab those and drag them up a little bit. They stick out a little bit, something like that, and we'll change that to new body. And then after fillet, and drag that like that. So very quickly we've managed to get the hardest parts done. Let's have a go at these bits here. Let's create a sketch. I'll use that slot again. Slot, center to center slot. Really hard to say quickly. Drag like that. Let's double click, Control C, Control V to copy and paste, and drag that across into position. E to extrude, and drag down. You see here it's a bit chamfered. Let's go to modify and chamfer. Just something little, like that. And then, as with earlier, I like to fillet the ends of those chamfers a little bit so they're not too harsh. Let's then hit E to extrude and grab back to these profiles, drag up, but again, new body, then F to fillet, and drag that over like that. So we've got everything on the front. Bottom wise done. We need to have our bits on top, and we also need to split. Now, thankfully, because we did it right in the middle, so much like we did with the joins here, and I same on here, we're just going to split that body and use the pipe command. And if we did it directly in the middle, we can go to split body, grab it, and grab that plane. It's there. Now we can't get through it, so we hold down left mouse button, I can X-ray through it. Let's cut it straight down the middle, like that. I can go to create pipe, grab that pipe. So we've got that cut, like that. I'm going to just hit F to fillet and fillet that round a bit, like that. Now let's create a sketch, and I'm going to do it on the main plane there because it'll be right in the middle. Let's hit Alpha line and just draw a line down like that. Escape, alpha line, draw a line straight down like that. Alpha line to about there. Create arc, 3-point arc, just go from here to here. Let's fillet that transition a little bit. And then we want to P to project to just grab that, because that then means this is a closed profile. So I'll hit E to extrude. Come to this view up here, drag it across, symmetrical. Need body like that. That's it. F to fillet. It's a lot easier to go a lot quicker on this one compared to, like, the console had the most tricky bits of modeling, so this is quite a bit easier. So just drag that around so it looks about right, and then F to fillet. Drag that in a bit as well. So we've then got that. What we can do is take that body, right click and move copy, drag it down just a little bit. And then what we're going to do is let's do a combine cut body, no, cut, keep tool, and the same thing again, combine, keep tool. That just means I turn off the canvas, we've got this little cut of where it's going to go. Like that. Let's mirror. I don't know if it's going to work. Let's try that. Mirror features. Let's see if it'll work. No, okay. Let's go back in time. Let's then create mirror, grab that. Like that. Okay, now if we do that, now will that work? Create mirror. No, okay, right, so let's just do it ourselves. Combine. We can hide that. We just do fillet. One. So we've got that. We just need to have a hole of where the cable is going to come through. Just have this come out here. Modify, chamfer. Leave that as that is. We've got the cable coming out there anyway. Let's hit F to fillet. Just about that until we're happy with the roundness of it. Too much. 7. About right. F, do the same again. 7. Okay. So then we just want to have at the back of it again, we've got, let's have a look. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screw holes. So let's go create a sketch on there. Alpha line to find the middle. I've also got half a rectangle and there's a little indent there. So let's not do that. Do super circle. Let's go like there, there, and there. And we shall make sure they're equal. So we'll say everyone be equal. That one. Let's mirror, create mirror, select those two, select that line there. Then let's hit E to extrude, grab these here, drag in a little bit. F for fillet, grab these. Bring back our sketch. E to extrude and grab that and just drag that down just a little bit. And then just round that off. Like that, this. And the last thing to do on this bit is just to do our screw. Let's come in. It's the same sort of thing as the console. It's got like a X screw type situation. Drag up, new body, have to fill it, drag in like that. Okay, so for this one, what we'll do is let's take, and close this sketch down a second, take that, Control C, Control V, do copy and paste, move that into position, Control V, copy and paste again, move into position, B, and then last one, Control B. Like that. So we've got our controller mostly done. We're going to do the socket for controller, but then we're going to do the actual cable itself inside a blender. So I want this thing here. So what I'm going to do is find out which one it is. Control C, Control V. Bring it over here. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is create a sketch. P to project. Grab that. And then I'm going to hit E to extrude. And grab all of that and just drag it up. Oh, why am I getting an error? First of all, let's hide. Well, that so we don't destroy it. There we go. E to extrude. It's strange, why am I getting that result? Okay, let's try again. So what? Let's hit a project, grab that. Then let's hit E to extrude. Like that. Click OK. E to extrude. Grab the whole profile. And change that to join. Like that. This thing here I no longer need. Let's just right click and remove that. And then what we want to do, make a slightly bigger version of that. So offset that like that. E to extrude. Drag it out. Two-sided. Something like that will do. Join. So we've then got our plug. Let's just fill it. These parts here. Okay, so that is our plug. I'm going to bring back. So what? First of all, let's take that. Move copy. Move it out of the way. Then let's turn all these back on. There we go. So what we've now got then is our console, which was the main part with all the difficulty in it, a cartridge and a controller with our plug. We could easily, I'm just going to do a little socket, like a cable bit for it now, draw the cables inside of Fusion, but you can do it easier and better inside a Blender, so that's why we're doing it like that. I have to put it. And let's just do a few little details. Create pattern. Split body. Like that. Then let's go to create pipe. Just keep repeating that. Then let's combine all of those back together again. Like that. And then let's just do one more circle. Fill it off. Like that. Okay. So, what I'm going to do now is give this a save. It doesn't really matter where they are, because we're going to move it all around in Blender. All I'm going to look for now is just check out filleted all edges and if there's any last little details. Now, I was happy with the console, so we didn't have any details missing from the console. I'm just going to go quick once over, check fillet wise we're happy. I remember that we're going to do the letters inside of Blender, but everything else I was very happy with. that was all good. And then with the cartridge, all happy, and then same at the bottom, I added that in, which I was happy with. Controller, nothing massively difficult about the complex, rather about the controller. Okay, so now that we're happy with that, all I'll do, make sure it's saved, file, export, change that to FBX. And I'll save that on my desktop so I can find it. So we're just going to jump over to Blender to have a go at texturing and rendering. Okay, so we're inside of Blender. So first thing we're going to do is when you come in, you've got your cube, your camera, and your light. So press A to select everything, X, and then I click on Delete. Then go up to File, Import, FBX, that's the kind of file we got. And then on my desktop, which one was it? There we go, that's the one. So zoom in because it's really small down here. I want to rotate it around, so press R to rotate. I want to lock it in the x-axis, so I can lock it like that. Type in 90, it's upside down, so I do minus, comes in the right size. It's a bit small, so what we'll do is hit S to scale and just drag it, make it a bit bigger, like that. Okay, so what we're going to do, so we'll do it in like two sort of parts. So first of all, we'll add, so if I bring over this image here, so we know what all the colours are going to be, but if you look, there's quite a few sort of decals, logos, symbols, that sort of thing. So what we'll do is we'll add all the base colours first, then we'll jump over to Photoshop and just create these quickly, and then we'll put it all over because then it'll look a lot more realistic. So the first thing we'll do is just add in those colours, but before we do that, let's give this a save first of all. So now what I want to do is remove all the material that is applied by default, which is the like satin steel. So if I click on it, right hand side of the panel, come to material, see that steel there, just press that X and just remove it. And this is also a good time because then you can also check if there's any like weird shading issues or any errors or things like that on the model. You can always jump back over to Fusion and make some changes. It looks like as we're going through, we haven't got any major issue, which is quite good. Okay, let's go to controller. It's over, just looking at the screws on the back. Okay, so we've got all that, where's those ones? All that removed, so now we can start applying our materials to everything. Again, I'm going to give this a quick little save. So annoyingly, Blender doesn't have autosave that I've noticed. I mean, it might do, but I haven't clocked onto it yet. Like Fusion, it's got autosave on, so I'm just going to hit save. So what you can do, so there's a very useful website that I use, which is this one here, which is called imagecolorpicker.com. So all you need to do is upload your image, and then you can actually take the hex code for that particular thing. So I'm going to just save this image. If I bring it over, so I bring the image, pick it over, so I bring this over, use image, go to my desktop, and then I've got my image here. So now all I need to do is like hover over, click, and it gives me that grey, and I can click that and I can go to my clipboard. So I've got that, which is really helpful. Now what I'm going to do is just use, we're using Blender Kit, type in plastic base, and there's like one generic one I always use to begin with, which is like this sort of one, because we're going to add in our own little imperfections and things later. So I'm going to drag that, and remember nothing has changed yet because we need to go on material preview like that. Okay, so what we want to do is go over to shading, and I'm going to get rid of these windows. So I view, area, close, do the same up here, view, area, and close. Drag this over and change this to 3D so I can see what's going on. If I click on that, remember you got these nodes here, and what we're looking for is basically change the color. So we want to see what's giving the base color, so we can follow this all the way along. It comes to here, so I click on, so I can just drag this and do whatever color I want like that. If I click there, I can get a hex code, and we've got that hex code in, so I can go like that. Well, that's the wrong way around, so let me grab the other hex code, the lighter one, like that. So what I'm also going to do is rename this and call this main body grey, so I know what that one is. Okay, so what I'll then do is let's just quickly unwrap that. So remember, the whole point of unwrapping is so that we can dictate how it like wraps around the material. So you can do that in UV editing, and you got there. So what I'm going to do is it's automatically selected all those faces. If not, hit tab to go to edit mode, 3 to go into face mode, 8 to select all, and go to UV, and for this case, we're just going to do cube projection like that. Make sure we've got material on that. Wait on to see what's going on. Then you can see the graininess of that plastic a little bit. And if you want to change how grainy that is, what we can do is go to tab mode, 3, A to grab it all. And I can scale that bigger or smaller, and what will happen, as you can see, is the graininess of the plastic will go more or less depending on whether you make it bigger or smaller. So I have gone on UV, so if I go tab mode, because I just do cube projection for this, I've right click and I've added it to my quick favorite. So now when I'm in this mode here, I can just select it, go to face mode, pressing 3, A, select all. If I go in Q, I've got cube projection there, so I don't need to keep jumping in and out of different modes. So I'm then going to select this material here and do the same one, main grey, but I'm going to press this button here to duplicate it and call this main body darker grey. Jump back over to shading, grab that darker colour, get the hex code, like that. This one here, we want to have that grey there. We then want to have, this one here wants to be the same as the darker grey. And then we're going to have another different darker grey still there. So what we'll do is take this here, take the darker grey, duplicate it, darkest grey, put that hex code in like that, and then that one is going to get applied to this one as well. Like that. We're then going to have, this one's got a lighter grey on it, that's the main grey. Oh no, sorry, it's got that one there. Same with this one here. Like that. This one we want to have that one. Let's add some rubber for the feet. Let's go back to layout. Give this a save. Let's just type in like rubber. I'll just take back a rubber for the feet. We're not really going to see this much, so Don't have to worry too much about it. Okay, we're also going to just quickly unwrap all of these. So select it, tab to go in edit mode, 3 to go to face mode, 8 to select it all. Just do cube projection like that. I'm going to do it to all of these just quickly. So you see it much faster than having to jump up into UV editing up there. Already done that bit here. Let's do a different plastic. Let's do the darkest grey for this bit. And that one I reckon is probably the main body grey as well. Like that. So in terms of applying materials, I think that is pretty much done. Obviously we're going to add in those decals in a moment. Let's jump over to this one, and it is, I'm pretty sure, the same. I'm going to get up reference image. It'll be the same grey. Let's grab Cartridge. I'll take this main body grey, duplicate it, call it Cartridge grey. Go to shading, not sculpting, sorry, shading. We've got that. We're going to want some metal screws. Let's just take this one. Like that. And while we're doing the screws, we might as well do these ones on this controller as well. Okay, so all we need to do is just unwrap this quickly. So let's minimize that. Select this. Tab to go into edit mode, 3 to go into face mode, 8 to select all, Q, and then Q project. And we'll do the same. All these parts. So that, and then what we want to have is the same thing. I'm going to get reference image up for the controller. Make sure I've got right colors for the buttons. So let's come here. We'll do that. Let's duplicate it and call it control light grey. Jump back over to shading. Grab that hex node. Like that. We then want to apply that to the back as well. Let's then take this one, duplicate that and call that D-pad. Go to shading, grab the code again. It's the same for these as well. These need to be our main controller light grey as well. And then we want a darker grey. Oh, no, this one wants to be the same. Like that. Then we want a darker grey for this. So let's take that, duplicate it. Okay, and then we want to get those colors, the buttons. So let's take that, duplicate, let's call that blue button, grab the hex code. Grab the next one. The blue hex code as well. So that's textured correctly. We want to have a black plastic. Like this one for this. Something like that. So we've applied all our materials. I'm going to give this a quick save because we just need to make sure we wrap everything on the controller. So let's just select it, tab content mode, 3 to go in the face, and I need to select all, and then I'm going to keep project, do the same for all of these. Okay. We've got like the base material down for everything. We will, as I said, when we're modeling it, just got to do these as well. Do a cable going from the controller to the socket. But we'll do that once we're like laying everything out. We know how we want it all to look. So what we're going to do now, let's change that to this like a missing material. I may change that later. So what we're going to do now is jumping over into Photoshop to create the actual decals that go on everything, because it material-wise it's fine, but it still doesn't look quite realistic yet because we haven't got all the symbols that should be on there. So I'll give this another save, and then we're going to jump over to Photoshop to just do all of our decals. Okay, so what we're going to do now is have a go just creating basically these symbols that we can put on this. So if you forget, so we need Super Nintendo logo, power, eject, and so on there, start, select, AB, and so on there. So what I've done, spent a bit of time looking online. So I've got Super Nintendo logo there. I've got this logo here that's going to go on there. I've also got this main logo here. And so for these parts, we set eject, power, start, select, AB, whatever. I've gone online and just found free Nintendo font. So this is just fontspace.com. And I just typed in Nintendo font on Google and got this and downloaded it. Okay, so what we're going to do is jump over to Photoshop and just go on default size for now. So what I've done is created, so I go to File, Open, and on my desktop I've saved these already. So if I take, say, where is it? This one here, so all I did was save it and then bring it in. So if there is not a background, if there is a background, sorry, which we don't want, you can just make sure you go on to select and then go on color range and select the writing, and then you can copy and paste that and just delete the white background because we don't want a white background to it. So all I'm going to do is make sure I've got this right color. So that, by the looks of it, I'm going to put that into the color hex code finder. Make sure I've got that as the right color that it needs to be. Otherwise it will start to look a little bit off. So if I take that hex code and we want to change that color, all we need to do is just hold this down and go to our bucket tool, which paint bucket tool there. Select this and I can put in that hex code like that, and then I can just select that layer and just make sure I've got this is the right color. So remember, with Photoshop, scroll wheel up and down, Alt scroll wheel comes in like that, and then Control scroll wheel goes left to right where I need it. So I'm just going to zoom in, make sure I've got everything the right color. So once I'm happy with that, what I'm going to do is make sure I'm going to go File, Export, Export to PNG. And then on my desktop, what I'll do is let's make a new folder. We'll call it SNES Decals. I've got that there. And let's save that. So we've got that one. Next, we want to grab this logo here. So what I'm going to do is grab this, save it. Make sure I can get PNG of it. And then I'm going to go to File, Open. On my desktop should be this one here. So we've got this, so there's no background, which is what we want. I'm going to zoom in, use that same bucket tool, and select these so I can change the color of it. Like that. So we've got that. Again, I'm going to File, Export, Export to PNG. So I'm starting to build up all the details that I need. I'm then going to go File, Open, because I've got another one that I've got, which I downloaded, which was this one here, which needs to, we need a color version and we need a black and white version, I think. Yeah, so we need a color version, so we can just go File, Export, PNG, SNES, the logo, and then we need to have that as black and white, so we could just use this, once again, bucket tool, like that, File, Export, okay, so now I think it is just a case of, I'm just going to check, so we've got that one. That one's going to go on the controller and on the console. We've got that one. So now it will just be having some writing. So this is where we've got our font added in. So I'm going to go to text here, drag, and then let's see. So we need to have power. So I've already got my Nintendo font selected here. So you can change the font to here once you've installed it. Nintendo font. So we've got power, eject, reset, what else do we need? Start, select, make sure I've got space in between them. Eject, reset, start, select, and then we're going to need Y, X, A, B. Okay, so I'm going to just see if I can change spacing between that. Slightly, because that looks a little bit off. All you need to do is select all, press hold down Alt and then just left mouse or right mouse button, click just to separate those a bit like that. We'll do the same here, just to spread those out a little bit. Like that. So I'm just going to check we've got everything. The actual console itself. Start select the controller, YXAB, power, eject, reset. And this one would be PAL version. Okay, so we've got those. So now all I'm going to do is let's turn off that background like that. Now I can close these because I've already got them. I'll save them just to make sure that I've got them, but I've got the... I won't change the colour one of that one. So now what I'm going to do is go to the select here, select it, Control C to copy, go File, New, and the clipboard, go and Create, Control V to paste it, like that. And then I can just turn off the background, so I've got that, and then I can go File, Export, Quick Export, in there, call that Power Decal, and just work our way through here doing the same thing. Select, Control C to copy, File, New. Now before I get too carried away, I've got to make sure I've got this the right colour actually, I just realised. So that actually wants to be light grey. So let's change that before we go too far. So this one, let's go to grab our paint bucket. Change that hex code. There we go. Nearly have those as the wrong colour then. And then we'll go File, Export, Quick Export. Got Power Decal. Got that one. Let's then grab this one. Control C, File, New, keyboard, Control V. Turn off that background. Let's just change the colour of those. File, Export. Reset will be the same. Control C to copy, File, New. Drop V. File, Export. Set decal. Once you get in a rhythm, it's actually quite quick to do these, just takes a little bit of setup time. File, Export. Start decal. So actually, now these need to change colour again, don't they? So let's change, start and select change colour to the darker grey. There you go. Now we can export it. So select. Okay, and then what colour is the panel? That's the lighter grey again. So we want to go back to the lighter grey for that one. So what colour? I want this one. Okay, then let's select that. C. A, B are all lighter as well. So in fact, should we just select do that. File, export. And then just A, B, and then we just got to do a label for the actual cartridge as well. C, file, new. Okay, so we've got all those decals that are going to go on there. The last thing we need is some console, like the cartridge's label for the game itself. So I had a little hunt around online. There's loads of ones you can find. So I'm trying to find as many as possible. So I think what I've found, something like this. Now you can have a look around and see what sort of game you want. So I'm going to take this, copy image, go file, new, edit, and paste. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to remove these parts here. So all I'm going to do here is use the eraser tool, which is there. Let's get rid of background and just carefully go around. Maybe make that a bit smaller. Like that, just work your way around carefully. Like that. So nothing particularly challenging or exciting for this particular bit, but it's just creating a label for our game. Okay. Well, you may choose to find a different label. That's absolutely fine, but this is the one we've got. So I'm going to give this file, export, export. Let's call that our label. So now we've got all of our decals. So the last little bit is we're going to jump over to Blender again, apply all these, and then sort of set everything up. Okay, we're back over into Blender. So now I'm going to start applying all of our decals. So let's start on here. I'm going to go to Shift A, image as decal, which is the item we've got. Go to desktop, and then I've got all my SNES decals here. So first one we want, let's get it up so I know what I'm doing. We want this one. So that's, let's rotate that Z90. Scale it quite a bit down. Bring it over. Rotate X to rotate it. That's to scale, make it smaller again. Bring it into position. If you can't see it, you come to here and change the offset like that. That's probably just about right size. So you see automatically it starts to make it look much better as well. Bring in another one, Shift A, image as decal. I'm going to grab this one. Type Z90. Let's do scale. G to bring it over. And rotate X. Again, let's change that offset so we can't see it. Something like that. No, probably that needs to be brought down a little bit to about there. Bring this one down to about there, like that. That's too far. Right, so we've got that. Let's come here, Shift A, image as decal. Doesn't matter what sort of order we're doing these in. Rotate Z90. Rotate X90. Top view. That's to scale. Bring it over. I accidentally rotate that round, which I don't want to do. G and Z to grab it. S to scale. Again, change that offset if we need to. So you just to make sure it's in the right sort of position. Looks about right. We do still need to add some lettering in there, I've just remembered as well, which we'll do. Let's grab the power thing for there, Shift A, image as decal, and we'll grab power, Z90 minus to be the right way around. S to scale it down, G to bring it over. R to rotate, X to bring it I like it. As to scale. Change the offset as well. Too big at the minute, so let's scale that down. Something like that. And see how much more realistic it starts to make it all once you start adding in all these little details. Let's grab the project that goes on here. Let's eject, there we go. You move it into position. Let's do scale. Again, change the offset if we need to. 0.02 seems to do the trick. Give us a quick save so nothing gets lost still. Right, so we're nearly done with the console itself. Let's Shift A. Image as decal. This one should be reset. So 90 minus S2 scale. X. Top view to make sure it's the right sort of size. Okay. And then here is just Shift A. Grab this. There you go. So we've got that bit done. Let's come over and do our game. Shift A. Image with decal. Let's see how this looks. I've found a few other ones as well, so we'll see how this one looks. It's at 90. Come to front view. S2 scale. Like that, looks good. And then it's just going to give us a save, doing our controller. And then we'll just have a go at setting it all up for rendering. Go to Shift A, image decal. First one we want is this one again. So 90 minus S to scale. View, bring it into position, scale it down, something like that. Shift A, grab the next one, which is the grey version of this. Yeah, make it a bit smaller. Go up there. Like that. Now this one I think I didn't use the right version, Shift A. It's that one I want to use. Z90 minus X90 minus G Z to bring up. There we go. Yeah, I was using the old version that didn't actually stick it to a surface. So that's that sort of size. And then let's grab start and select. Shift A. Start. Z90. So this is a lot of rinse and repeat, but we are nearly done. Well, it might not be the most exciting thing in the world to watch. Start is that one. Shift A, grab select. Okay, press the wrong images decolor. That's the one we want. Now it's just make sure everything looks in the right sort of place. I'm going to keep getting this saved just to make sure nothing crashes. And then we just want the letters on here. So last four things to put on. Let's do X first. R 90, X 90. Again, just change that offset just to make sure it comes up about right. Next, let's do A, R, Z, 90, R, X, 90. Bring in, scale down. Up. Make sure I've got the same sort of size there. And last two. Let's do Y, R, X, 90, R, Z, the wrong way around, R, Z, 90, R, X, 90. There we go. Scale it down. Bring over. G, Z to bring up. Change your offset. Again, just bring it over here just to make sure I've got the same sort of font size. That's about right. G, and that's going to go there. And then we just need our B. Z 90. R, X 90. Bring it over, scale it down, G and Z to bring up, scale it down a bit more. Okay. You get some weird clipping, so I'll come to the top there. This sort of weird clipping. You can just play around with the offset a little bit more, as long as you make sure it doesn't look like it's coming off the surface, you're okay. Right. So we've got all our decals added. Give this a save. Obviously, we've still got to do the cable. What I want to do is lay all this out ready for rendering, like decide on the layout first and then do the cables, otherwise it might not look about right. Last thing we do want to do though is on number 1 and number 2 there. So Shift A, text. I'm going to rotate that 90. Edit. Just do number 1. Go under fonts. That lines it up Nintendo. Oh, there you go. That's what we want. Come to the front. Scale it down quite a bit. Bring it out as well. So that's G and Y. Just bring it out into position. S to scale down. A bit smaller. Like that. Move it into position. G and Y to drag it back. We do want to make it solid though, so let's grab it, come to modifiers, generate and solidify. Drag that back a little bit. Let's change the materials of that to the main grey. Main. There you go. And then G, Y, just drag it down. Like that, so we've got that in position. Let's get up a little bit. Okay, let's just take that. Shift D to duplicate it. Press X, so just move it right the way across here. Come to front view. Tab to go to edit mode. Just do number 2. G and X to bring it in. A bit hard to see because it's the same colour, but it is there. Maybe we want to increase that thickness a little bit. Okay, so I think in terms of texturing, modeling wise, we are done. I'm going to a quick save, and the last thing to do, as I said, is we're going to set it all up in a little scene and then have a go at rendering it. Okay, so what we want to do now is like set up our little scene and do some rendering of it all. So I just want to check before we do anything. I can grab all these things independently, so I have to do that. Grab, I can move that around. I might find if I grab, yeah, so some of these are going to be linked. So what we want to do, so if I select all of these, so you see it's all of these ones that come up, and it's under this one here, so all these bodies here. If I select them all like that, hit M to move and go to new collection, call that console, and create. I just want to make sure I grab all those decals as well, so let's close the bodies there. And it's all these decals here, and again M, move to console, and then we'll select those. It's also these ones as well. So now if I have to close those and go to console and just select everything on the console, and G to grab, or with edit mode, G to grab, there you go. I can move everything around, no problem. I'm going to do the same with the controller. So let's come to collection, let's 65 to 85, move, new collection, call that controller, create. So now if I close that, and then under controller, I can very easily grab those and do the same one, same thing for the game as well. So let's, under collection, it's these ones, and to move, new collection, call that game, and then just check because there'll be a decal on there as well. Oh, I just realised I'm going to undo for a second because I've not added in those decals as well. Okay, so what I want to do, so I've got the controller, but let's grab those decals as well, which will be there to there, move to controller. So now if I was to grab the whole controller like that, everything stays where it should. Let's just do the same for the game now. So let's go down here, move, new collection, game, and then we also want that decal as well, don't we? So let's take that one, decal, move to game. So now they're all individual, so we'll be able to grab them. I'm going to make a couple of duplicates of some things as well. So let's take this, let's go Shift D to duplicate. I'm going to grab it all, Shift D to duplicate, move over. I'm going to grab this decal and hit delete and add a new one because I've got a few game labels to add, so I've got some variation. Let's do RZ90, move it over, S to scale, come to the front so we can properly see what's going on. Something like that. We'll do one more. Let's Shift D, just bring that up, take that, X to delete, come to the front, Shift A, image as decal. Let's grab this one. RZ90, bring it over, S to scale. There we go, so we've got a few variations of the game. Now with the controller, I'll give this a save. There's a few things we can do. We've still got to do the cable for it. So what I'll do is I'm going to do one that I've wrapped around the cable of it, and then we'll do one possibly where we've got like the cable sort of unsprawled, like sprawled out. But let's grab that. Let's Shift D, move that over. I'm going to do M to move new collection, call that second controller. Okay, and then let's take R X90 to rotate it like that. So we want to wrap a cable around that. So what we're going to do is select all of it. Let's grab these here. I'm going to do Control J to join those together. And just move those decals by accident. Let's grab these as well. So that's all one body, and the reason we're doing that is what we're going to do is take that, right click, set origin to geometry, and then we're going to do Control and now Shift S and go cursor to selected. So we've got that 3D cursor there, because what we'll do is Shift and A and go to curve, and let's go to curve spirals and Archimedes screw. Get the settings up here. We want to rotate it. Let's do 90 and 90 like that. Now on it's way too big, so let's bring that down quite a bit, something like that. Let's add a few more turns, but we need a bit of height to go with it, something like that. Make that radius slightly bigger, like that. Now we just want to make sure at this stage that the end of the curve lines up with where the cable is going to come out. So I'm going to come out of edit mode, grab that RX180 just to rotate it around, because then we can move that quite easily into there. So I'm going to give this another save, and then what we'll do is select that curve, come to modify using the spanner, generate, and let's not generate, sorry, deform, and let's go to shrink wrap, target, and we'll click on that. So it's wrapping around it. Bit hard to see, so what we'll do, we'll increase the offset slightly. You see what's going on like that. And I'm going to apply that by just holding over it, Control A to apply it, and then down on the curves here, I can open up geometry. I can add some depth to it. That's way too much. Let's do like 0.006, something like that. It's a bit too much. 0.005, a bit better. So, or we can still go into edit mode and grab these points, because we want to just make sure that nothing like clips through it. So we can sort of grab G, Y, and just move it up slightly so nothing looks like it's intersecting. But if we do the offset, well, no, that's not the one we want. So let's come up tab mode for a second. We'll take that and we'll go S. We'll do Shift X so it's not intersecting or scaling the other way around. So we've got a cable like that. We want to make it a bit smoother, so let's go generate subdivision surface like that. So we've got a cable. I can then tab to go in edit mode, grab this point, G, and bring over and just bring these round a bit. make it look like it's actually coming out. Check how that's looking. Looking quite good. And then here, we're going to have that plug coming out. Let's just grab this. Don't mean to grab this one behind it. Grab that one. Move it out like that. Maybe we'll just scale that slightly again. So let's scale Shift X so it doesn't. Just to make sure there's no major intersecting. Like that. Okay, we've already got our rubber material from before, so let's apply that. So let's do rubber. I guess we've got our cable wrapped around. So we could take that, we could Shift D, duplicate that. Rotate X 90. Come to the front. G to bring that down. G, Y, bring it over. Yeah, something like that. So we've now got cable wrapped around. Like that. Let's give this a little save. So I'm going to just quickly, let's Shift D. Duplicate that. And let's just see if I can edit that enough that it doesn't become obvious that it's the same. We're just trying to move these around a bit so that if you were to look at them, they'd look different. Not identical. Let's hide that for now. Okay, so now let's start setting up our little scenes. I think I want to put these all like on a shelf. So let's go Shift A, mesh, and we'll come through plane. R to rotate, X 90. GZ to bring up. And I'm going to do Shift D to duplicate, rotate Z 90, GX and bring up. Shift D to duplicate, move that over, RZ 180. And duplicate one more time, Shift D, R to rotate, X 90, GZ. To bring down, so we've got what's going to look like our shelf. Let's apply some materials. So I've got like this dark painted wood will do the job. Let's drag that over. Like that. And then all we want to do is start to bring our stuff in. So let's come to the top view. G, bring that over. G, Z, bring it down, so make sure nothing clips through the floor of it, and make sure it's not floating. There we go. And then come like that. Let's grab these games. Top view. In fact, first of all, let's grab this. Move it. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Let's go to controller and drag over. We'll grab our second controller. In fact, let's just hide these so we can grab it easily. Grab that. Move it over here. Then let's unhide. I'm just going to delete that. Alt H is unhide, by the way. So now let's grab these. Top view. So bring it in. GZ to bring it up a little bit. Just make sure I've got no clipping through the floor. Do a little bit of rotation, RZ, just so it's not perfectly straight. Let's grab next one. G, grab GZ to bring up. Then let's grab this one, reach in the collection as well. Let's rotate this round RX90. That's into the top view. GZ to bring down. I'm going to make the circuit board a little bit darker. Shading. Yes, not like that. Okay, let's bring in our controller. Give this a save. G. RX90. GZ to bring down. So that is intersecting, so what we're going to do a little bit over is R, Y, just to grab that and deselect that. Now it's literally just sort of playing around with how you want it all to look, to be honest with you. Let's grab that. Let's then grab this as well. Rotate. Okay, so let's set up some lights. I'm going to save and see how everything's looking. I might not add a second controller in. So let's go to Shift A, light, and we're going to do a spotlight. G, Z to bring up. I'm going to hit S to scale to bring it down quite a bit. G, Z to bring it down. Also, I'll bring it over here and rotate it so it's pointing. Like this. Okay, let's turn on render mode. We're then going to turn on cycles and go to GPU and turn on denoise. Let's then increase our light. Let's use nodes, and we're going to add in a gobo like we've done before. We'll go to shading. Or Shift A, add an image texture. And then let's add in something like that. Let's cast in a shadow of like the window frame. We're going to increase that by quite a bit, I think. And play the radius, we can make it a little bit softer. So it's like 0.02, something like that. Increase that power a bit more again. Something like that. Because then we're going to add in some more light. So let's come to the world view. We're going to use a HDRI. So we're going to color. Let's do environment texture. Open, and then on my downloads, I've got HDRI like this. We can decrease strength that if we need to. Let's Shift A, another light, I'll do an area light, GZ to bring up, bring it over, make it bigger, make it a bit softer. And this one we're going to decrease the power a little bit. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Let's add our camera back in. Let's go Shift A, camera, and then we want to go to view, align view, align that to come to view, or I've added that to my quick favorites. So if I go Q, so that's what our final render is currently going to look like, which is good. So we've got a couple of games, controller. I feel like this space here is a little bit empty. I'm also wondering whether that color shouldn't be on, because it's totally not on. That's probably more like it. Okay, right. Give this a save. So I'm relatively happy with how that's looking at the minute. Let's play around. Now it is a case of just sort of playing around with settings. So 0 jumps into your camera view. I can play around with my lighting a little bit more. At 3, but then I can on my gobo, this light here, add some colour to it to make it more like it's daylight or nighttime. So if I do like a blue, it's more like it's nighttime, or if I do like a yellow, it's more like it's daytime. So let's go for like a nighttime sort of vibe, like that. Just conscious this here looks like it's floating up a little bit, which I don't really want. On X. Right, how does that look? Okay, that's more like it. Okay, so other things I quite like to do a lot of the time is let's add a volume. So I'm going to go to Shift A, Mesh, add a cube. Let's do that. Turn it off for a second. S to scale, G to Z to bring it up. I'm going to make it bigger than the whole scene, basically. Let's go to the top. G. G, Z, like that. I'm going to hide those controllers. I've not decided whether I'm going to add a second controller in or not yet. So what I'm going to do now is let's add a material. Surface, I'm going to change up the principal volume, go to shading, and under volume here, put that into volume. Then you've got like this weird, like misty sort of vibe going on. We can then change that to quite low. And it sort of like gives like the atmosphere of like just dust and stuff in the air. And 0.2 is probably too much. 0.1, 0.15. Okay. So we've got that. The other thing I do like to add in sometimes is you can add like dust particles in the air. Now for that I've actually got, I open recent dust particles here, which I found on Blender Market. So it's just a blend file that you can just take this, so hopefully it'll, there you go. So you see like these dust sort of particles, you can just take this, Control C, go back to the original file, Control V to paste, so that ends up there. You get all these dust particles. Now we can make those smaller. So if we come to this side here, we may get rid of this, we'll see how it looks. Let's grab. Okay, now is in the way in a minute. So what we're going to do is let's hide our volume. I'm going to grab our dust particles here. And then under modifiers here, we can change the size. You just got these little fine specks of dust just sort of in the air, and then you play around with the seeds so they sort of go into different places. Increase the amount. The more stuff you add, obviously the longer it will take to render. Let's bring back our fog. Let's see how all that looks. Doesn't really add a great deal to it, to be honest, does it? Let's maybe we'll increase it slightly. Or maybe a bit too small. Let's change that to like a grey. Yeah, something like that. Okay, what I might do, let's go to models, grow a plant, so quite small. Bring this into position a little bit. Oh, to show everything. Okay, so I think we may just increase the power of some of our lights a little bit more still. I might accidentally deleted our lights. Look at the area. Where's our spotlight? Okay, I think I might have accidentally. Oh no, it's over here. Wait, is that our camera? Okay. Let's shift A, light, spotlight. Bring it over, rotate. Press to scale down. Use nodes. Okay. Image texture. Hook that up. Go back to our gobos. bit softer. It's very easy to spend a long time just playing around with more and more lights. But I think at some point, you know, I just have to say we're done. So I think let's just increase the size of the go very slightly. Right, give this a save. Let's go render, and we're just going to make this something easy. We're not going to do 4K because it'll take forever. Do 2, 4. Go to render and render image. So we'll stop there. Hope you enjoyed following along. Got any questions? Please let me know.